Well, what is up, wineaholics, crimeaholics, White Clawaholics, margaritaholics, as I am being tonight. Beeraholics, as Sarah's being.
As I am being tonight.
It is the Red Rum and Red Wine podcast. That was Sarah drinking beer.
Hi.
And I'm Kristen.
I'm Sara.
And I'm Kristen, and I'm drinking a margarita.
I hear the slushing going on
Sorry,
there.
it was frozen a little bit. Had to break it up. Fucking, I'm keeping Taco Cabana in check, man. Or
All
what's
right.
the word?
I was going to ask if it was another Taco Cabana margarita, and it is.
Keeping Taco Cabana in business, one margarita at a time. It's the summer vibes are calling me. It has been raining so much. I got a little bit of sunshine, and I was like, you know what? I don't care if it's nighttime. A margarita is a great way to celebrate a sunny day.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I agree. And I'm dying for a real margarita.
Yes.
Because they don't have those here.
Wow.
And I don't drink liquor a lot, so.
Yeah, no,
But anyways.
I cried. Margaritas are essential for summer. But yeah, what are you drinking this fine night?
I'm drinking a beer, Bow Echo Hazy IPA.
More gasoline. Love it.
From Memphis, Tennessee. Yes, this is one that Savannah brought back for me.
Those cans that you've been pulling out have the best artwork on it.
They're so colorful, and the label is like that matte feeling, so it's really soft, and they're all bright and cool patterns. Beer is just getting crazy these days.
It really
with their labels.
is.
Imagine, oh my god, being a graphic designer. I don't know why I didn't really think about doing that, but being a graphic designer and designing beer labels.
No, because I designed the covers for this podcast, and they're shit.
But it's fun.
No, I already skipped one. I don't know if y'all have noticed. I was
okay, the one you did for your last story for the
Bath School Massacre.
I loved your picture. It was so cute, but when I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, Kristen.
What? What was wrong with it?
It was so cute.
But I can feel it.
I was like, maybe I could have used a little
okay, well, you know what?
Color or like wine.
Hey, I put the wine at
No,
the end
not
of your
really.
name.
Oh yeah, I saw it at the bottom.
Whatever. Okay,
True.
I can only try so far.
No, it was cute. It was cute.
I am not the artist. I don't really know what I am, but it's not that. No, I can't. You know, I would get in trouble at school for like not drawing how the teachers would want me to draw. I once got in trouble because I would color out of the lines. Well, I mean,
that's fucked up.
I guess, but I was just really fucking lazy. I was like, I don't feel like coloring this whole map. I'm just gonna scribble it. And the teacher pulled me aside and she was like, you know, that's not how we color. I was like, it's how I color.
I colored on the walls in like it wasn't kindergarten. I think it was like 4K. It was nap time, and this girl that I was friends with or like napping next to, she wasn't sleeping, and there was crayons next to us, and she was like, oh, color with me. And so we started drawing on like the end of one of those like play kitchen things, like on the wood, and then we just took it to the wall and we started drawing like rainbow pattern, like all big. And yeah, that was the first time I got sent to the principal's office.
I was about to say, yeah, did you get in trouble for that?
Yeah. Because, like, during nap time, sometimes the teacher would, like, lay down and just kind of, like...
Take a nap, too?
Lay with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I would take a nap.
Well, like, probably not fall asleep, but just lay there or, like, sit at the desk. But that day, like, if she was just sitting at the desk, she would have seen us doing that automatically. But it took us a couple of rainbow...
strokes.
Rings for them to notice.
Did you ever just angry crayon on your wall as a child?
No, I put boogers on my wall.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
No, I did crayons on the wall. Like, knowing that my mom would get pissed at me. So I was so mad at her.
You know what would have been worse? Probably, I think, is like stickers.
Oh, God. Theodore loves stickers, so I'll let you know.
I burned my finger the other day, and it's... So remember when that champagne bottle, like, shattered in my hand in Austin? I have a scar. You can't really see it, but, like, right here
Honestly,
from it. And then...
so many things have broken around us. I don't... Not recalling that one.
Before we rode razor scooters to Blues on the Green. With Jake.
In the fucking driveway, yeah.
I burned my finger almost near that spot, and you can't. I don't know. It's
Does
hard
it look
to tell,
like a dick now?
It looks like an L.
Oh, loser.
It's like an L, but yeah, I can't really see it. Anyways, going off drift. I'm just rambling. Okay.
This is not the rambling podcast. It is. Did we already say it's the Red Rum and Red Wine podcast? The podcast where we talk about murder, mystery, and mishaps while being fucking mishaps ourselves, if you couldn't tell. Don't you
You're
know?
welcome.
Anywho,
Well, y'all,
it's Sarah's turn.
my story here for you today.
I get to sit back and do nothing. I'm excited to do it.
Yes. So
What are we talking about?
I'm
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it'll be good. Huh?
So, all right.
Sarah just told me it was an amputee.
No.
Oh, is that not this one?
That's not this one.
I was like, don't you like my little joke there?
No, I did not put that one together because that's not the story I'm doing.
Okay, yeah. No,
But,
ignore that. So what are you doing today, Sarah? We're just going to... Whoop.
All right, so the story, this is the murder of Regina Hartwell.
Oh.
If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably into true crime and all of the above, and you probably watch all the regarding shows on TV, like Killer Couples, which is where I got this story from. So shout out to Killer Couples and Oxygen. A lot of my other information comes from a book called Wasted by Susie Spencer, as well as her other articles and blogs written about the case. She did a shit ton of research and even interviewed the murderer.
Yeah, damn.
Did I say that?
No, yeah, you said it right the second time.
Later, like after the fact. So
Shit. Thank
she
you, Susie.
has a lot of she has a lot of stuff invested. So
Gotta love the people that do our jobs for us, you know?
right. So thank you for the information. And if you want even more information than I'm giving you, then definitely read Wasted, because wow. But this story, like I said, is the murder of Regina Hartwell. It's a story about a love triangle involving greed and drugs that goes up in flames.
Ooh.
And
I
guess
feel
where
like
it
I'm
takes
watching
place?
an Oxygen movie. Where does this take place?
Texas.
Texas? God, I can't wait.
Guess where in Texas? Okay, so the story takes place in the Austin area of Texas, which is somewhere Kristen and I are very familiar with.
Do they end up going into San Antonio? Is this the case I'm thinking about?
No.
Okay, no.
Like some details, no. But it also involves Bastrop County, which is outside of Austin, but it's practically, it's like
nowhere to me.
the same thing. Yeah, you've been there, so.
Oh, we have?
Yeah. It's
Where?
It's east of Austin, so like driving to Houston.
Okay, that means nothing to me. Like where we've driven by it, there's a place that we've been.
We've never stopped in Bastrop
Okay.
to do anything.
But
It's a 30. Okay, so anyways, I'll get into a little more of like exactly where it's from in a second.
Thank you
Alright,
to your
so-
local GPS. No, that's not good.
Like, Kristen is not good with directions, so this is pointless.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
On Thursday, June 29th, 1995, around 9:30 p.m., first responders got an alert about a vehicle on fire out on Farm to Market Road, which is in rural Bastrop County, Texas, and this is about a 30-minute drive east from Austin, Texas. This area where the vehicle fire was found was a location around farmland and kind of, like I said, rural. It was common for stolen vehicles to be dumped there, and they were usually burned or stripped to get rid of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
The vehicle they responded to was a Jeep Wrangler.
You're doing great, sweetie.
That was engulfed in flames. So sorry. Okay. Yeah, keep that if you want to, but I'm going to re-say it just in case. The vehicle they responded to was a Jeep Wrangler that was engulfed in flames. The firefighters found a gas can at the scene, and obviously by the smell of everything, they could tell that an accelerant such as gas had been used, meaning that it was intentional. Someone was purposely trying to get rid of this vehicle. And when most of the flames were tamed on the vehicle, they discovered a burned body in the back of the Jeep. So it was in the back seat. It was wrapped up in a blanket, which gave the impression that the death of the person occurred somewhere else and most likely homicide. Because I guess it could have been like an accident and someone dumped it, but usually that's pretty still suspicious if you dump it.
Dumped a body in
if
a
you're
truck,
dumping it, it's
in a
usually
car?
like a homicide.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
What? That did. Yeah. I would say a body in a truck or a car that's
Dumped in
abandoned
flames. Sauce.
I mean, call me crazy. I'd say like 99%. It's a homicide. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't know anything. I'm fine.
So also kind of under the body in the back seat area, there was some cloth wrapped up, and in that wrapped up cloth was a single-edged block blade knife. Luckily, it wasn't damaged by the fire, like, at all. There was only a little spot on the handle that had a small burn mark on it, but the knife was intact. When the funeral home workers attempted to remove the corpse from the Jeep to take it to get examined, they ended up having to remove and bag the whole back seat of the Jeep because the body pieces were just kind of like falling apart if they were trying to move, or when they tried to move it. And so when I say they bagged the whole seat as well as the body, the back seat, since the whole car was in flames, the back seat was basically only springs. I have a photo. I didn't send you any photos to look at. Okay, I just put it in a Google Doc. It's a Facebook link, and hopefully you don't need Facebook to look at it.
Okay. Oh, shit.
So a couple of things right away give the impression that it's definitely a homicide or, intentional death or whatever because of the gas can and the body being wrapped in a blanket, because that
Obviously,
means
yeah.
usually, they're being covered or the bleeding is being stopped or whatever. So also, when they were moving the corpse, they could tell that it was female by the breast tissue that was, for the most part, burnt away, but also from kind of the genital area. Postmortem x-rays showed a 5 to 6 inch deep stab wound going from the neck area down to the 5th rib of the back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and it was like the front of the neck area going down to the back. And that wound was seemingly the same size as the knife that was found in the Jeep. With that same wound, an artery and a vein were cut through, as well as one of the lungs being punctured, which caused her to drown in her own blood. And this was determined the cause of death because...
Fuck, man.
Yeah, there wasn't any soot in her lungs, which meant she was dead when
died
she was set
before.
on fire.
Yeah. I mean, at least there's that. Not really, but holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, getting burned alive, though, it just seems...
so painful.
A lot worse if we had to rate them. There was also alcohol, Valium, and cocaine present in her system.
Oh, okay.
The Jeep that firefighters and police responded to was pretty damaged, as you can tell from the picture I sent you.
Yeah.
And if you go to that link and you scroll to the picture, like to the left, the one before it, I think it's of a burnt license plate. And so that's how they were able to find the owner of the vehicle. So they linked the vehicle's owner, and they discover it's registered to a 25-year-old Regina Hartwell.
Yeah, you can definitely make that out. And we'll definitely be posting these on our socials for those who are
all
curious. Yeah. But
so, of course, right. Luckily, there's a phone number attached to the registration and stuff. So police call Regina and leave a voicemail because she doesn't answer. So, who is Regina Hartwell?
Is that who's the body?
Well, it's
Determined at this point.
Determined. The identity is undetermined because it has just been discovered.
But it's Regina's car.
We know it's Regina's car. So who is this girl? Or who is Regina? Born on February 6th, 1970. She grew up in Pasadena, Texas, which is outside of Houston, Texas. She was an only child to Antoinette, or Tony, and Mark Hartwell. Antoinette, her mother, was really strict on her as a child. For example, she didn't let Regina wear shorts or pants. She always wanted her frillied up in a dress. She wasn't allowed to play outside barefoot. I know that kind of seems random, but there were other things like...
just like small things. But
she was very controlling
to a child,
and strict.
Yeah, to a child, that's everything.
Yeah. And... but also, like, the whole strict and controlling was borderline abusive. And if you read Wasted, this goes into more detail on Regina and her mother's relationship. But apparently her mom would put cigarettes out on Regina's back. Like, enough to where there were just, like, so many scars back there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay.
So when Regina was 12... Antoinette, her mom, died in a tragic and unexpected accident at work. Her mom cleaned airplanes and was walking through a hangar door, and the door closed because whoever was pushing the button to close it didn't see her there. And she got crushed because it closed on her.
Oh, damn.
And she died instantly.
Like karma, but I don't know.
Right, so it's like, it's really sad, but...
Yeah, but I mean, what happens to her
you'll see that
after?
Her death really does affect Regina in a way where she sought out the love of, like, motherly figures and
that's what
female
sucks,
attention.
Yeah, it's like it literally, you can have the shittiest mom in the world, like, you still want that mom to love you.
It just makes you want that motherly love even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after her mother died, Regina's dad, Mark, sued and won $1.2 million from the lawsuit over his wife's death.
That's where she got that cocaine money.
Out of that, Regina got $400,000.
That sounds so nice right now. I'm like,
Yeah, and remember, this is in the 90s, so it would be probably inflated a little bit nowadays.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Although she didn't really receive it until about 4 years after the accident, but still, that would be like her being 16 when, and she didn't receive it all at once. She received it in
in increments.
Yeah. Her and her dad weren't super close, but because of that, I guess, as she got older, she started to seek out acceptance and love through friends, and by kind of just seeking attention from other relationships. So in high school, she started a pattern of trying to buy her friends because at the age of 16, she would have started getting her money. And when her dad inherited his money as well, it was said that
dipped.
he didn't really dip, not right away at least. He used the money to kind of, because him and Regina didn't have the closest relationship, he would use money to buy her cars and whatever, just as a way to like kind of get close with her.
So that's like her learned behavior of like.
Exactly.
That really, my heart really goes out to her in that situation.
Right. She wanted to fit in, and so she would use money to do that.
At 16, like literally
that's
money
all you
is
how, do.
Yeah, it's how you fit in. Like if you have money and you are willing to shell it out on your friends, like it's your quote unquote friends are willing to be there for you while you shell it out. Like it's just such a cynical cycle.
Right. So from a young age, like I said, that pattern of her buying her friends started, but of also people abusing her with her money started.
Yeah.
But it takes two to tango. She was fully like okay with it. She was okay with, people, they would she would throw parties at her house, host parties, and cover the cost of all the booze just to have people friends. Yeah.
Honey,
and that gets you really tangled up in life.
Good individual, like just go to find something you're interested in, join a club. Like there are people out there. Yeah. Email us.
Right. Also in high school, she started to experiment with girls. She was definitely leaning more towards the lesbian side of things, but she also experimented with guys as well, and that kind of continued as she got a little older, but she always kind of labeled with the LGBTQ community. So after she graduated from Pasadena High School in 1988, she moved to Austin, Texas. So if you're not really familiar with Austin, Texas...
if you're not cool,
if you haven't been there a few times like we have, it is and has been for a while a liberal city full of business and tech, known also very strongly for the University of Texas. There are other universities there, private ones, community colleges. There's a river running through downtown, and there's a nearby lake. It's a really beautiful area.
They have a huge ass music festival.
Yeah, there's, ACL every year. It's a great community.
South by Southwest.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Nowadays, it's kind of overcrowded, a lot of traffic, but we love it. The crowd can range, obviously, from the liberal side of things to Austin is the capital of Texas, so there's
got a lot of money
politics there. There's money, there's politics, it's a college town, but it's also full of business and tech, so the crowd can really range.
Those little fucking beaded ass, if anyone would have told me 5 years ago that if you would bead some little strings together and sell them at this goddamn store for $75, those little bracelets that we were making for ACL that one year when we were just having fun, $75.
Candy bracelets, yeah.
That they were selling
That's
these
lame.
for. I'm like,
go to music festivals, make them and trade them with people, and that's better.
I was flabbergasted. But did I take the free drink that they gave me to go into the store and roam around? You bet your bottom dollar I did.
Hell yeah.
But goddamn, that's all I did. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, rant over. Bye.
So, from my research, some of the reasons why Regina moved to Austin was mostly to get away from Pasadena. Her dad had gotten remarried, and he had moved away, and there was a bunch of family drama, and she was a little more... maybe like hipster and
honestly,
liberal.
If you're young and you have money and you're in Texas, like Austin or Dallas is where you go. And especially if you're like a party person, then probably Austin.
Exactly. And she was a party person. So she definitely moved to Austin to get away from Pasadena, to get involved with the scene there. The only thing I'm kind of unsure about is... I think she was attending Austin Community College. Definitely at one point or a couple points. I think maybe she enrolled and dropped out a few times.
Yeah, I was just figuring out her life.
Right, and I'm not sure if she moved there, went to college right away, but it is said that at one point she went there, or she at least claimed to go there, because we do some friends claim Regina exaggerated a little bit and seemed to lie about a few things. Like, friends stated that she would exaggerate about how much money she had because I think she inherited so much at a young age. She kind of just got instilled with the idea that she has a bunch of money, and
or she just like
kind of
spent
stuck
it all
with her. Well, yeah, and like I said, she wouldn't get it all at the same time, so she'd spend what she'd get and be broke until she got her next round of payments. And so, anyways, she was probably attending Austin Community College on and off. Regina got really involved and actually pretty well known within the LGBTQ community in Austin, specifically the bar and club scene. She was 5'1", about 110 pounds, but she had a big personality, so people flocked towards her. She was charming, outspoken, confident, and charismatic, but also vulnerable because of like her upbringing and stuff. So one night, Regina was out at Club 404, which is a gay club in Austin, with friends, and she met a girl named Kim LeBlanc. By the way, I looked up pictures of Club 404 because it used to be called something else, or now it's called something else. It used to be Club 404 at the time. And the pictures look familiar. And I don't know if I've been there with you, but definitely maybe somewhere else or someone else. But the inside, it just looks familiar. I don't know. So Regina was out at Club 404, which is a gay club. And she was with a couple friends when she met a girl named Kim LeBlanc. Apparently, they were each with some friends, and they had a mutual friend or something in one of the groups. So that's how they met. And they immediately hit it off. Or in Regina's eyes, they did. She was smitten right away. It was love at first sight. Kim was interested. She thought Regina was really nice and definitely
her type.
Kind of like gave her a shot, like whatever. So who is Kim LeBlanc? Kim LeBlanc was born Kimberly Alex Derrick on May 17th, 1976. So she is younger than Regina by 6 years.
Nothing wrong
but
with that.
But her mom...
As long as they're at consensual ages by the time they meet up.
Yeah, which they were. So Kim's mom, Mary Catherine, married a Kenneth Dwayne LeBlanc about a year and a half after Kim was born. And eventually Kim took his last name. So he was her stepdad. And unfortunately, she didn't have the best upbringing either and was also filled with a little bit of tragedy. Kim claims that her stepfather, Kenneth LeBlanc, started molesting her at age 14.
Oh, shit.
So not a great home life. Yeah. I mentioned earlier that there's a lake near Austin, and it's called Lake Travis. This is the area that Kim grew up in. And this is considered a suburb of Austin. You know, it's, like I said, it's on the outskirts. But anyways, she attended Lake Travis High School. Susie Spencer says in Wasted that Kim LeBlanc was much like Lake Travis she grew up in. Beautiful on the surface, stone hard just below, dangerous waters down deep.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh. Someone say that about me in my grave. Or my funeral.
Kim was a cheer... I know. Kim was a cheerleader and a National Honor Society scholar in high school. But her senior year, there was a falling out with the cheer squad. Basically, someone else became captain and she wasn't a fan. So her and like one or two other friends basically called a team meeting and were like, I quit because we don't want this person as captain.
I mean, at least that's all they did. They didn't try to do something nasty about it.
Well, I don't know, because after she quit the squad, she cut her hair, dyed it dark, which is nothing's wrong with that, but she gave off darker vibes in general.
Yeah.
She got mean and just became super negative. She even was said to vandalize some houses and cars with spray paint.
So she just turned south real quick.
Right. Yeah. So people were kind of happy when she graduated, to say the least. But she did graduate 4th in her class from high school.
Fuck. So they can't really say shit.
Right.
It's like
I said, she was a National Honors Scholar, but her senior year of high school, which is also when the cheerleading thing happened, she didn't take any honors classes that year. So she was really just going through some changes, I think. So, like I said, she graduated 4th in her class, and that was in 1994.
I was like, oh, shit, we just went back in time. Whoa.
Woo!
I got old.
And so she enrolled at the University of Texas.
Texas,
Austin. So she met Regina Hartwell at Club 404 in May of 1994 during her first semester. This makes Kim 18 and Regina 24 when they met.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the cusp, but...
Right.
It's college. You do these things.
Right. Like I mentioned, Regina and Kim hit it off immediately. So much so that 2 weeks after meeting, Kim had her own copy of Regina's ATM card and access to basically all of Regina's money.
No.
Nee.
Oh.
You're gonna tell me.
No.
To party.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were gonna say they loved to. No, they loved to party.
They loved to party.
Yeah, they didn't love each other. They loved
obviously, Regina was into the club and bar scene. She was big in the community. They met at a club. So they would hang out and do drugs together. Mostly party drugs like cocaine, ecstasy, LSD, marijuana. Definitely smoke cigarettes. Not that that's it's a drug. But
yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Coffee's a drug, bruh.
Yeah, bruh. I'm addicted.
Yeah. I just had a cup at 7 p.m. I don't have an issue. You have an issue.
Yeah, so it was said that, like, they'd wake up, do some drugs, go shopping, come back, do some more drugs, or just, like, lay around and do drugs all day and hang out or whatever.
That sounds like a really fucking healthy relationship.
Super. They didn't have a sexual relationship until about a month after they met.
Okay.
And Kim apparently broke it off a few months in because she was unsure about her sexuality. She never really claimed to be lesbian, you see. Like, she kind of just met
one of those
Regina people. And ran with it. She liked the attention.
Actually, that sounds offensive. Okay, yeah.
Well, we're all guilty sometimes.
You experiment, and if you end up not liking the experiment, then it's really like you can't say anything. You thought you liked someone, you gave it a shot, and like you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
As long as you're honest and stuff.
That's the thing, is you got to be honest at the end and say, like, hey, I really like you, but in that way, just
yeah, and we'll
doesn't
see
get my
that
ends going.
Eventually, things get a little honest, but things are still strung out, and that's why it becomes so messy. So,
of course, because they're fucking young. It's just how relationships like that go.
Yeah. So
especially when you're on drugs, man. Sorry.
Oh yeah, because that just intensifies. It's a huge factor on emotions and healthiness.
Yeah, you don't act normal. Obviously, when you're on drugs, that's the whole point of it. So like, there's no way for you to have like a rational relationship,
right?
In that kind of situation.
But after Kim kind of like broke it off because she was unsure about her sexuality, they would get back together. They would have an on and off relationship for about 14 months.
Mm-hmm.
So
damn,
although Kim was...
they fucking dragged you. Damn. Okay. I would be kind of, you should...
But Regina wasn't the type to... She...
was used to people fucking using
Kim
her.
was her person. She didn't see any red flags. She although Kim was unsure about her
Fucking
sexuality, she
Kim,
just like
yeah, Kim telling her, "Hey, I don't want to be with a girl," isn't a red flag. Like,
yeah. It was kind of said that Regina, you know, starting in high school, kind of would chase women, and like I mentioned, she would chase that motherly love figure.
so she preferred the older women. Yeah.
Yeah, it was said that she, like when she was a freshman or sophomore in high school, she became kind of obsessed with this senior girl and even bought her like a used convertible Mercedes or something.
Holy whoa.
Yeah, like she, so
she
she has
seriously
a history.
used to dropping money to try and get.
Yes. And this is something she likes to do. She enjoys gifting and giving.
Healthy. It's
right.
not healthy.
So
I get that it's your love language, but like it has to be a loving relationship. Number one.
So she's not going to see really the red flags of someone using her because she enjoys like giving and spoiling and yeah. So
but I mean,
because she believed,
because
you know,
that's what she wants, you know?
Right. Well, she has in her mind that Kim is everything she needs and she's perfect. And
like, of course she's going to want to do everything she can because that's,
yeah.
Been there. So, that sucks.
Although Kim was iffy about her sexuality, she grew to rely heavily on Regina. And vice versa, sort of, because Regina was attached to Kim and wanted to do anything to make her happy and or keep her close.
Including financially, I'm sure.
I mean, Regina's feelings are definitely described a little more obsessive, while Kim's are described as a little more greedy. Mm-hmm. So, Regina paid for Kim's rent, drugs. They went on vacations together, such as Cancun or a cruise to the Bahamas, New York.
Oh my God.
She even bought Kim a scooter, which I'm assuming like an electrical scooter, and a Jeep Wrangler that looked exactly like Regina's.
Oh.
So Regina drove like a dark forest green Jeep Wrangler, and she bought Kim one that looked exactly like it.
Damn. And I just want to throw this out there because maybe I shouldn't, but it's just as unhealthy to buy people objects and expect them to love you back. Damn.
Right.
Like, I get that she loved her, but can't buy her love. Damn. I don't know. This is all just so, like, it's so messy. I can just, I'm trying to see which direction this goes in because I can see it going all of them.
Well,
I don't even know how a third. I don't even know why a third person gets involved because I can just.
I know, because someone could easily just die from like a drug fueled like love thing, but
like,
unfortunately, a third person does come into this eventually. So as well as the Jeep and amongst other things, Regina also set up a mutual fund for them both. They had an intense relationship fueled by partying and greed, and it was said that a lot of the times Kim's sexual Regina obviously was obsessed with Kim, but Kim wouldn't be as sexually into it until like after a tab of ecstasy or something, you know, like
after she was drugged up.
Like I said, they were on and off for about 14 months, and around that 14th month period, Regina and Kim went on a vacation together to New York City for New Year's Eve. So some other friends were there as well, and Regina showered everyone with champagne, drugs, limos, a grand old time. But this is also when Kim admitted to Regina that she wasn't a lesbian and she couldn't do it anymore. So she apparently like just dipped out of New York. Damn. And after that, Kim tried to create some distance between them to kind of not rely on Regina so much, but they would still hang out. So Kim got a job. She did get a job so she wouldn't have to financially rely on Regina as much. And this job was as a receptionist at a small local gym called World Gym. And this was also where, I don't know, it's kind of random, but this is where Kim had one of her first jobs also in high school. So she had worked there once before and then not, and then she worked there again.
Okay.
So Not that it really matters, but while she was working there at the gym, apparently she was talking with a coworker, another receptionist or something, and I guess she hadn't had dick since high school, and she was itching for some. Okay. She was itching for some dickin'.
I'm like, that's not the sentence that I was thinking that was going to come out of your mouth, but all right.
So at work one day, she mentioned to her coworker, she's quoted as saying, the next...
She got quoted saying she was itching for some dick.
No! She got quoted as saying this. The next guy who walks around that corner, I'm going to go out with. And lo and behold, the next guy who walks around that corner was big ol' 6'4" Justin Thomas. And Justin Thomas, who is Justin Thomas?
Who's Justin Thomas? I say.
He was born Justin Heath Thomas on November 3rd, 1971. I'm pretty freaking sure, because I couldn't find his birthday, but in one article... it mentioned the date, November 15th, 1992, 12 days after he turned 21. So I did the math.
Okay,
and so I'm pretty freaking sure he was born on November 3rd, 1971, in Riverside, California. His mother and father didn't stay married long. And actually, his mother tried to commit suicide twice before he even hit puberty.
Damn, okay.
He had a pretty troubled childhood as well. He, as a young boy, spent time bouncing around from his mom to his dad to his grandparents' house in Texas. And he got into drugs pretty young. He found his dad's weed stash at about 6 years old. And I don't think he smoked it at 6.
Yeah, that's young.
He watched his dad at least smoke it. And so he knew what it was from a young age and definitely got heavily involved into it, at least like in middle school and high school. Definitely high school. It's unsure it's exactly when he started. But as well as weed in high school, he started doing heavier stuff like meth.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's a heavy one.
He had Division I football scouts looking at him, and he could have totally had a great football career because he had the skills and everything, but he just couldn't. Well, he couldn't keep his shit straight. Yeah. He couldn't ever get sober or anything. Yeah. So instead of eventually the football offers stopped coming, and he went down the drug user and dealer path instead.
That's odd.
Yeah. So. Eventually, he moved to Texas in 1992 to try and clean up his act. His dad was living there with his parents, or I'm not sure if it was with his parents, but his parents were there, so his dad was also in Austin. And so he was hoping to try and kind of reconnect with his father as well. At one point, I think he became a martial arts expert. That was in a source. I'm not completely sure. But basically, what I'm trying to say is he was tall and he was built. Just kind of a big guy.
Yeah.
And also, something I'm not completely sure on, I'm so sorry, is that I think he was a trainer, and that's why he was at the gym where Kim LeBlanc worked.
So he's a big, muscly dude and possibly knows how to fight.
Oh, yeah. So when Justin turns the corner that day, him and Kim exchange phone numbers. And Kim doesn't wait very long to give him a call, and they go out on their first date. On their first date, they end up at a drug dealer's house, making some sort of exchange. Super romantic.
Yeah. Great first date material.
Yeah.
Tinder bio. Take me to your drug dealer's house. Please, and thank you.
So after that, I guess they go back to Kim's, and she's all like, you party, and she pulls out some cocaine.
Well, they just went to a drug dealer's house. I think you party.
So they do a couple lines, and then Justin pulls out meth, and he's like, oh, have you ever done this? And they end up, I guess, doing some meth. And then it was said in like the Killer Couples episode that they have sex in the living room and in the kitchen and in the bathroom and in the bedroom. They just have sex everywhere, apparently.
Fucking rabbits.
So Kim gets her dick. And so
she got
Kim
her
and
itch
Justin.
and itched.
Yeah. they're a thing now.
Yeah.
So, just a quick refresher. Regina and Kim dated on and off for 14 months before Kim told Regina she wasn't a lesbian. Kim meets Justin, and although they start dating, Kim is still hanging out with Regina.
Mm-hmm.
Kim is still relying on Regina financially, although she's tried to create some distance. Regina and Justin, they don't really get along. They're both jealous of each other, but they tolerate each other on the surface at least, because they both care about Kim, and they at least want her to be happy or to still have a relationship with her each. So basically, Kim would hang out and do drugs with Regina during the day, and then go hang out and have sex with Justin at night. And remember, Justin is a drug dealer, so Regina would even buy drugs from him if he didn't have any. Or if he didn't have any, Regina would have other connections for her to get Justin and Kim drugs. So they were all doing drugs together.
Wait,
I think it was even mentioned.
Sorry. Regina knew about Justin at this point?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she know
that... It was never a secret.
That they were fucking? It wasn't a secret?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never a secret.
Okay.
It was all in the air, and that's why Justin and Regina were jealous of each other, because Justin was aware that she was like Kim's ex-girlfriend, but they still hung out, and he knew that Kim still relied on Regina financially.
And probably that Regina wanted Kim back.
Yeah. And he tolerated it because of the financial greed. He realized that Regina would buy them drugs. She would give Kim money. She paid her rent. So that benefited him as well. So they would tolerate each other.
Dude. Okay.
And I think it was even said at one point that Regina and Justin discussed maybe going into the drug trade together because she had the money and connections, but then he had his separate connections and could like deal. But I don't think they didn't really get into that.
Like drug talk.
Drama happened before they could get there.
Yeah,
so.
Something obviously happened.
Yeah. So at this point, this is a full-blown love triangle. Regina, so one day, like, I want to go one day. Regina takes...
What the fuck just came out of your mouth?
I was talking to myself. All right, one moment.
All right, Sarah's, calm down.
Regina takes Kim and a group of other friends to a trip to Cancun. Sorry. I was going to say Cancun.
No, people. If you are still here, thank you. Thank you for making it this far. Congratulations. You won the prize.
Winner, winner, winner!
You get nothing.
You get to hopefully listen to more episodes.
You get to hopefully get an end to this episode.
Yeah. Regina takes Kim on a trip to Cancun where she wants to spend time alone with her to try and convince her she doesn't need Justin, you know. And there are a few other friends there on the trip as well. But unfortunately, the trip doesn't go the way Regina had hoped. It actually ended in arguing the entire time. It was just nonstop and got even worse towards the end. So Kim ended up separating and leaving Regina in Cancun. So as far as the timeline goes, I'm not sure if Kim leaves Cancun and this is like the next day or a couple days after. But shortly after, on June 28th, 1995, Regina calls Kim because, you know, she had left her in Cancun and they're arguing. She can hear Justin in the background, and he's even kind of talking loud and making remarks to make his presence known to annoy Regina. So she hears Justin in the background, and it gets her heated. She tells Kim to put Justin on the phone, and she blows up on him saying he's not good for Kim and that she's going to turn him into the police for his drug dealing. So obviously Regina didn't care that Justin dealt drugs. She was doing the drugs. She had all of the part of it in it than he did. She only wanted or threatened to turn him in to get him out of Kim's life. She wanted Kim all to herself. She did not like Justin and did not think they were any good for each other.
She just wanted to push a button.
Right. So remember, that phone conversation happened on June 28th, 1995. Fast forward to June 29th, 1995, the next day, which is when police have discovered the Jeep on fire.
Oh, shit, that happened fast.
Yeah. They discover the scene, they've called Regina's home, and they've left a message because they can't get a hold of her. They're trying to track down any family, but they're not having any luck. Their calls to Regina go unanswered until a friendly neighbor gets involved. So unfortunately, the case takes a few days to unfold after the discovery of Regina's Jeep and potential corpse. Because also during this time, the corpse was unable to be identified by fingerprints because of the
burns. Yeah.
Incarceration. Wait.
No, that's jail.
That's jail. Because of the incineration. God damn it. Fuck. So remember, at the same time,
you feel better about yourself, about your education, because we don't have
we
any.
are cringing. So the corpse is unable to be identified by fingerprints or anything else visually.
Like dental records, probably, right?
Yeah, the only way they would be able to identify the body is by dental records, and apparently that couldn't happen right away, or they were having a hard time with it or something. Or, like, some of her shit was missing. I don't know.
Damn.
Or she didn't have, like, any records. Something like that. Like, it took a couple days, at least. So, the identity of the corpse is still unconfirmed. So, meanwhile, when, the police are discovering that Jeep, around that same time, or probably the next morning of the 29th, which would be Friday, June 30th, a neighbor and friend of Regina's, Jeremy Barnes, goes over to her apartment to grab a pot to make spaghetti because she had borrowed one of his pots, so he went to go get it back.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't there, but her door was unlocked, which was really normal. He noticed her car wasn't there. Obviously, she wasn't home, so when he entered the apartment, the place was a wreck.
Shit.
But this was also pretty normal.
Oh.
There were beer bottles everywhere. Ashtrays were full of ash and cigarette butts. It was a wreck. So apparently Jeremy would clean Regina's apartment pretty often for extra cash. And she had asked him to clean her apartment that week, like over the course of that weekend. Mm-hmm. She said, like, would you clean it by Monday? So it's Friday. And he walks in, it's a mess. So he figures, I'll just go ahead and clean it.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Oh, fuck. He had no way.
Just wait. Just wait.
Shit. Fuck, man. Dude.
It's fucked. It's so fucked. It's so fucked. All right. So he starts to clean her apartment.
I do not like the way that this just turned.
No?
Wow. Fucking Jeremy. I know you don't know, but fucking should have known. Fucking. Oh,
and Jeremy, he was actually featured in the Killer Couples episode, and he's also
like, I'm so sorry.
Featured in the book Wasted a lot, and he ends up being really helpful to the investigation.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
No, yeah, I know it's all fucked, but he ends up being really helpful, and he just like genuinely cared about Regina, and you'll see. So
yeah. Oh.
He starts to clean her apartment. Oh. He notices some blood stains here and there, but he doesn't think anything of it.
Jeremy!
Because Regina would apparently get nosebleeds and was really messy. He knew her to stay up late, having binges.
Oh, from like all the fucking cocaine she was
doing a shit ton of cocaine.
God,
she would wake up and
honey.
hawk up loogies and snort out her nose to clear out her airways. But she was apparently generally pretty messy.
Ew.
So this was all not news to Jeremy.
Ew.
Right.
Yeah, you would have to pay me to scrape those snot rockets off the fucking
Yeah, I'm like, how much
wall.
cash was he getting? Shit.
Oh my god. No, he literally had to love her in order to do that because I don't.
Well, he was gay. He's gay. So
Well, I mean,
apparently
heard
the
about it, though,
apartment
right?
that Regina lived in was kind of like a co-ed building that was kind of known for the LGBTQ community living in it. So there was a lot of
But they were like besties. Like I would
yeah,
scrape.
so they were friends.
I would scrape
and
your
she
snot.
literally
I would scrape your snot rockets off the wall if you like paid me in alcohol.
yeah.
I mean,
especially
I
if
would
you paid me.
probably definitely have to be drunk to do it, but I'd do it.
Right.
Love you.
So love you. Regina had a cat named Ebenezer who was kind of mangy, and a dog named Spirit, which was he was a greyhound whippet mutt. Jeremy noticed that their food and water bowls were empty, so he filled them. Apparently, there was a dark stain on the carpet in the living room, like next to a recliner, and Jeremy guessed that it was just smeared dog poop, tea, or coffee.
Ew. I would hope that
Yeah,
would be
that's
tea
just
or
what
coffee.
he assumed.
Oh, Regina.
That's just what he, yeah, it's just what he assumed because of her lifestyle. And so he just still didn't think anything of that because of how messy Regina was.
No, he cleaned it.
Yeah, he apparently tried to clean a lot of the stuff, but the bigger stains wouldn't come out, so. A few days go by when Jeremy and some other friends of Regina's really start to worry because no one could get a hold of her. Jeremy continues to drop by, and he can tell Regina still hasn't been home because the animals' food and water bowls were empty, and her friends thought, since they started to get worried, they were like, oh, maybe she left for the weekend, but Jeremy noticed all of her belongings that they said she would definitely take with her anywhere were still at home, like her favorite shoes that were a pair of Doc Martens, her hairbrush,
Love that.
her makeup, all her makeup. Yeah, so
Yeah, bitch, can't catch me anymore without my fucking makeup.
So Jeremy went to her apartment again that Sunday, July 2nd. So we're, over the course of the weekend, that Sunday. And the animals were out of food and water again. So he thought that was very unlike Regina for it to happen this consistently. Because normally she would contact him to help her out with stuff like that. Like if she knew she wasn't going to be home or if she was going to be home late or something, she would call him and ask him to feed her animals.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So her not doing that and then being constantly out of food and water was definitely out of character. So he kind of continues, all at this point, him and a few of her other friends are trying to get in contact with her and still nothing. Jeremy continues to drop by Regina's to feed her pets to make sure everything's okay. And on Tuesday, July 4th, Jeremy and a few other friends of Regina's gather at her apartment because at this point, they know something's wrong.
How long? So July 4th, when did she initially go missing?
She had the argument with Justin and Kim on the 28th.
Okay.
Her car was discovered the night of the 29th.
So like
which was Thursday.
A little less
Thursday
than a
the
week.
29th. Yeah, so we go from Thursday the 29th through the weekend, and now we're on Tuesday, July 4th. So they're all at her apartment because they meet up because they know something's wrong. This is like not like her. No one had really heard from Kim since Regina's disappearance, but that day Regina's friends were able to get a hold of her and get her to come over to Regina's to meet up with them. Apparently, Kim had a meltdown when she sees like the blood stains and stuff around the apartment and tried to clean some of it because Jeremy didn't get to all of it. Apparently, like there's still blood some places. And she's having a meltdown and just kind of zones out. Her friend group decides to call the police to file a missing persons report. So an officer comes out to the apartment. And what's insane, though, like so insane, because first of all, fuck Kim and Justin, like that's a given. And Jeremy cleaning the apartment is one thing. because it was normal.
And then
But-
fuck him for going in and complaining to Jeremy about not cleaning it good enough. You didn't clean up my evidence
No,
good enough, you
she
little
didn't
bitch.
complain. She just saw the blood, and what we don't know is, like, she already knew what happened, and she sees the blood, so it makes it real, and so she's like, like, freaking out.
Yeah, now you freak out. And now, after, oh my god. I
Yeah,
can't
but what's
stand
insane
people.
is that either, like, right before deciding to call the police to make a missing persons report, or while they're waiting for the officer to arrive, somewhere that day, the friend group continues to clean Regina's apartment. They fill trash bags full of...
the fuck?
Yeah.
No. 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 No.
And I think they were just trying to protect Regina, hoping she was still alive, because what they threw away was...
Like contraband?
dildos,
Oh.
drug paraphernalia, you know, like cut up straws, spoons, probably like pipes and bongs or whatever.
Okay, that I guess makes sense, but fuck.
Yeah.
It's like,
But still, it's like, cops don't care about dildos.
Well, yeah, no, not the dildos. I mean, yeah, I guess you could for sure get arrested for that, but it's like, it's a missing persons. What was I supposed to do? Shit.
Right. So that shit is crazy to me.
If
so
you're
once the
a
officer gets
true
there,
friend, you will not clean up the crime scene. Hello.
yeah, don't touch anything.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
And also, the friend group was going over scenarios as to what could have happened. You know, they were saying maybe she dipped out for the weekend to go visit her dad, or maybe she just dipped out. But they were like, no, because all her favorite, like, she wouldn't leave without
All
her
of her
makeup,
shit,
at least.
Bitch,
Like,
my
all
Doc
her shit.
Martens? No.
Right. And that's when the friend group brings up the argument that Kim and Regina had, because Regina had told one of the girls about the argument.
Good girl.
And so she's like, I know about the argument you had.
Yeah.
Regina told me.
Yeah, fuck you, you little
And
choice
and
words.
Kim was apparently kind of just brushed it away. And I'm sure because of their unhealthy relationship, like, their friend group was probably used to them arguing and having their on and off stuff. But still, it's pretty notable. So they brought that up. And remember, Kim had access to Regina's bank account. But one of her other friends also had access to her bank account.
Oh, shit, girl.
So, this friend, I didn't take the note down, because a lot of, like, when I say, I know I'm saying friend group a lot, their names were in Wasted, but I don't even know if those were their real names.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those were changed. And there were, like, 4 or 5 names, and it's just a lot. So
It's
I'm
fine.
going with friend group.
It's the slight karma they get for cleaning up the crime scene. It's fine.
Yeah. And so this friend who also had access to Regina's bank account brings it up to Kim and says, hey, there's a shit ton of money missing.
Damn.
Like, a
Good
shit
for that
ton.
friend. Good for that friend.
And Kim apparently admitted to being like, yeah, Regina told me I can take out whatever I need. And so, as I mentioned earlier, it's said that Regina was sometimes exaggerating, or maybe was said to lie a little bit on not only, like, how much money she had, but, you know, sometimes she would lie about, like, her mom and stuff, or her family, or where she came from, or whatever. And so it's said that apparently Regina had just inherited $3 million.
Oh, wowza.
But there was only about $8,000 in the account.
Oh.
And so I know that when her mother originally died, Regina would get partial payments when she turned 18, and then she would get, like, the full rest when she turned 25. And so I don't know if that money was from when she turned 25 and she got it all, because Regina is 25 at the end of the story. So, that I'm not too sure on.
Sorry,
but basically,
was the $8,000 left in her account after Kim had taken all of the money out?
pretty much, yeah.
Oh, so Kim took a substantial amount. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to make yourself look guilty there, Kim.
Mm-hmm. So while the officer was there taking the missing persons report down, emotions were high, but Kim was pretty freaking quiet during all of this. She apparently just kind of sat there in a chair, like kind of in the corner, and was chain smoking cigarettes. She was kind of like fidgety, probably tweaking, just kind of like not saying much.
Just like waiting for the handcuffs to basically be
Right.
thrown on her.
And I was a little thrown off as to whether or not the argument talk and the bank account talk happened while the officer was there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it happened either before or after. Otherwise, the officer would have been like probably taking it down.
Yeah, for sure. At least
because they wrap things up and the officer leaves and everyone kind of disperses.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the day after Regina's friends gathered and called the police to file a missing persons report, Jeremy goes back over to Regina's, to check in on the animals and stuff. And he notices a couple of new missed calls from the Travis County Sheriff's Department on Regina's answering machine. And he becomes ecstatic because he's thinking, oh my God, she's in jail. She's okay. Like, oh my God. Because over the course of that weekend, as him and her other friends became more worried, they were calling hospitals and jails and stuff to, like, see if she was anywhere.
Yeah.
And they were having no luck. So the first thing he thinks of is, like, she's okay, she's in jail. So he calls the sheriff's department back from Regina's phone in her apartment. And when, he's like, hey, I'm Regina's friend. I think my friend is in jail. Like, is she there? They break the news as to why they were really calling. And that's because they had found her car in flames as well as a corpse, although they still hadn't confirmed the identity. But because they haven't gotten a hold of Regina, and now they know neither have her friends, they believe heavily it is Regina. Police tell Jeremy to go home and not to touch anything, although he had already cleaned the whole apartment. And he admits, he's like, I already cleaned the whole place.
Jeremy. Jeremy.
I know. But luckily, him doing that doesn't completely screw everything over.
Okay,
like, I'm
good.
sure it would have been helpful.
I mean,
to
Jeremy
see how much
know
fucking
any
blood
better.
there was.
I'm not gonna give him shit. It's a genuine mistake.
Yeah.
He probably did not watch a lot of true crime videos. It's fine. But
Right.
God damn it, Jeremy.
This stuff didn't happen a bunch yet. It's the early 90s. It was all happening all... Anyways. When police arrive to Regina's apartment, of course, they speak with Jeremy. Jeremy's genuinely upset when he finds out that the corpse that was found in Regina's Jeep was most likely his friend Regina. So Jeremy was actually very helpful in providing details about Regina's life to the police.
Mm-hmm.
So police definitely didn't think he was purposely obstructing the apartment when he was cleaning. He was honest about what he saw, about the blood he saw, and about what he threw away. And about how, he even was honest about just how messy Regina was and how then that's why he didn't think anything of it, basically. Jeremy also provided police with information about Regina's love triangle drama with Kim and Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, as well as a few of Regina's other friends, wasn't a huge fan of Kim. A lot of Regina's friends saw from the outside that Kim was just abusing her financially, using her for greed, clearly wasn't into her sexually, but kept her around and kept hanging out with her. So other friends besides Jeremy had suspicions about Kim, and from the beginning, as soon as police heard about Kim, she was pretty high up there on the suspect list. Mm-hmm. So Regina's other friends say they thought Kim was acting suspicious the day before when she was over at the apartment, and made the missing persons report. They thought her behavior was just suspicious, and they also tell police about Regina's bank account being drained. So police work quickly to locate Kim. They find her number from Regina's answering machine, apparently, and call her. And she doesn't answer, but calls back shortly after, and she agrees to come to the station. They're just like, hey, we need to ask you a couple questions. Your friend Regina's missing, blah, blah, blah. They're not like, hey, we found her body or whatever. So whenever she gets to the station and they start talking, Kim acts genuinely surprised and upset to learn of Regina's death. When asked about a motive for someone to kill Regina, she mentioned Regina's drug use as a possible reason because she was heavily involved with like the club and bar scene, which usually involves a little bit of drugs.
And probably knew that she had all those drugs in her system at the time of her death.
Yeah. Well, and so Regina alongside became involved in the drug scene, and obviously they were all doing drugs together, so she knew she was into drugs. So Kim mentions that as a reason as to why maybe Regina would have been a target, and maybe suggests like a drug dealer or just that reason in general for being the reason of her death. So police take that idea to some of Regina's other friends, and they ask about any dealers that could have had a motive on killing Regina. And a lot of Regina's friends bring up Justin Thomas's name.
Yeah, they do, because bitch is motherfucking sketchy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, in effort to try and track down Justin, police try and contact Kim again to talk about Justin, because by now they knew about the love triangle and that Kim and Justin were a thing and stuff. But Kim won't answer the phone, and she's not at her apartment. The police have a friend page Kim, and somehow from the page, like, I barely remember pages or pagers and how they work, but from them having a friend page Kim, they were able to find out her location. I guess they could ping it or something, I don't know. And because Kim responded to the page, and by that, the police find out that she was at the Justin Thomas family home. So police go there. One of Justin's cousins opens the door, and when police ask, oh, is Kim LeBlanc here? They say no, she's not there. Police say, well, we know she's here because she just answered a page saying
at
she's
this
here.
Residence.
Or from this location, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, dumb.
And so police find Kim and Justin upstairs, and Kim apparently looked like shit. She had lost a bunch of weight from all the drugs. She looked super pale. She had like a chapped face, chapped lips, chapped upper lip, chapped nose.
All the fucking meth.
Yeah, just everything. And she was definitely acting pretty out of it, because I think she herself I read this in Wasted, that she took a Valium that night to try and get some sleep. So Justin, as I mentioned, was also there, and he's looking just as bad as Kim. He had a weird looking mohawk, and you'll see a picture. It's not one of those just like lined mohawks going over your head. It like starts in the back to where it almost looks like he's bald.
Oh no, I found it. Wow, hun. That's not a haircut for you. That's not the one, I'll tell you that. Wow. It, like, he has a very odd-shaped head, too. Like, that's not a good... Like, it seems like he was stuck in the birthing canal for too long, and his head just never went back to normal.
Yeah. I see that. So, along with that weird mohawk...
Oh my god, he's creepy. Imagine that.
Yeah, and imagine he's 6'4" and built.
Ew.
Yeah.
Like that over your bed and you wake up
Ugh.
and no. That's creep. Ooh. Why would you what I just want to know I mean obviously meth, but what was he thinking when he woke up and was
Obviously.
like, that's a good hairstyle. Yeah, that's the one. I look fucking great.
So, alongside that lovely haircut, police noticed that Justin's right hand was injured. It was kind of like wrapped up and stuff. So they thought that was kind of odd, but he claimed he cut his hand jumping a fence. So Justin and Kim are taken in for questioning. When Justin is questioned about Regina's murder, he denies any role and refuses to answer any questions, totally not cooperative. But Kim, on the other hand, is willing to talk. Okay? She asked for a lawyer, but proceeded to talk anyways. So police went on with the interrogation and got her story.
That's someone on drugs for you.
Yeah, it's like, I want a lawyer. Anyways. This is what happened. Anyways, let me tell you all about it.
Anyways, here's the whole story in full fucking detail. Let's go. Also, do you have some meth? Just my friend's asking.
So Kim pretty much starts her story from the moment when she returned from Cancun after leaving Regina. So as I mentioned earlier, they went on a trip to Cancun with some other friends, and it was just full of arguing, and Regina separated and left. Kim separated and left Regina in Cancun.
Yep.
And shortly after that is when they have the argument over the telephone. So Kim tells the police, Regina and I were arguing over the phone, and then her and Justin start talking and they're screaming at each other. Regina threatens to turn Justin in for his drug dealing, and then Kim quotes Justin as saying, I can kill that bitch. That bitch is not sending me to prison. So after the phone conversation ends, I don't know if they talked any more about it or if he made any more claims about any kind of murder plans, but Kim states that she didn't think he was serious and that he wasn't actually going to do anything because 6'4", built guy, drugs, cocaine, meth, temper.
Yeah, no. He's not going to do shit.
I could see that, but I could also see why he'd actually go through with it. So Kim claims she didn't think he was actually serious, but on the early morning on June 29th, Justin gathers some supplies and goes to Regina's apartment. He sneaks in through a broken window that he knew was broken and unlocked, and apparently Regina was asleep on the couch in the living room, and she kind of awoke to him being in there, and she says, "What up, Jay?"
Okay,
Because I guess people called him Jay.
That's so fucking creepy because as soon as I saw that, that's what I fucking imagined. And that...
Him standing over you, yeah.
I'm terrified.
Yeah.
That's a fucking nightmare. Oh, wow, no. Mm-mm.
And even that simple quote of Regina saying, "What up, Jay?" She was said to be kind of a smooth talker and to talk in shorthand, nicknames and stuff like that. So just her saying, "What up, Jay?" as being some of the last words she would say alive or to her assailant is kind of...
That's morbid.
There were just notes on that.
That's fucking
So
morbid, man.
Justin starts to confront her about the threats she made about turning him in. I'm sure she...
You don't think that anyone's gonna actually do anything about anything.
Right. I don't think they argued for a long time or anything before Justin starts stabbing her.
Shit.
Because what I pretty much read is that he confronts her and then he pretty much starts to stab her. So
did he already have the knife on him?
Yeah, he brought it with him. So this is when, that long, deep stab wound occurs that I mentioned was the cause of death. This is also when Justin injures his hand because it's common for an assailant to injure themselves during a stabbing.
Because the blood.
So that's why police thought that was suspicious right off the bat, is because they already knew that. So after stabbing Regina, remember this happened in the living room, so that's why there were stains in the carpet. He carried her to the bathroom to apparently let her bleed out in the bathtub.
Oh my God.
Because remember that deep stab wound hit an artery, a vein, and made her lungs, flood.
Dude, he had every I mean, but obviously he wasn't there to save her.
And he apparently did try to clean up some of the blood. So he I think cleaned up the bigger major spots, but not like every drop. So that's why when Jeremy came over and cleaned, there wasn't as much, I guess, and he didn't think it was anything out of the normal because it wasn't like a bloodbath.
Some of it already had been cleaned, I guess.
Exactly. It had already been cleaned. So after letting Regina bleed out in the bathtub, he wraps her in a blanket and carries her and places her body in the backseat of her Jeep. He drives her Jeep to Regina's... Justin drives Regina's Jeep to Kim's apartment around 1 p.m. that day, which is June the 29th, because he had gone over that morning to kill Regina.
So this is all happening in the middle of the freaking day, dude.
Yeah, he went and killed her during the morning time, and he somehow carried her body to her Jeep, and that's why I'm thinking it had one of those cloth... Because also in the Facebook pictures I sent you, that green Jeep photoed that's intact.
The cloth is over.
That was Kim's Jeep that Regina bought her that looked just like Regina's Jeep. And that one has a cloth top. And so I'm sure it had the top on it. It was during the day, and he just somehow got her body in there with no one realizing it. And remember, Regina was 5'1", so who knows how he...
You could... Yeah. And I mean, it did say that her body was wrapped up, but it's just crazy to think that someone would actually be willing to transport a body in broad daylight. It's just like,
oh yeah,
as soon as you walk out, that's not like that's just not something that you think about. Like, oh, well, I need to watch out for someone walking a dead body out to their car.
His hands were apparently still bloody when he drove to Kim's apartment in Regina's Jeep with her body in the back.
This guy is on drugs.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a given.
Obvious. Well,
like, I mean,
yeah, but obviously, I mean, like just to do something like that, like, wow. I mean, yeah, I don't think I've actually.
Let me clean this puddle, but I won't wash my hands.
Oh, what the? Oh, I haven't heard someone taking that.
So, when he gets to Kim's, she helps him clean up. She is shocked to realize he actually went through with the murder because he's bloody. Yeah. But she doesn't want him to go to jail.
Bloody fucking hands. Imagine that.
Right? Ugh. And at 1 p.m. when she's probably like waking up, ugh.
You would have to... She should have just called the cops. She could have easily just played victim, gotten no jail time, didn't have to deal with it, but she had to...
You'll see, and this is gonna piss you off. This bitch is a bitch, and she got fucking, like, I want to call it lucky, but oh my god, dude, like
I don't want to bully, but am I gonna have to bully someone?
Justin murdered Regina, but Kim should have done time.
So
just wait.
Yeah, okay, no, that sentence already pisses me off. Okay, yeah. Now let's dive into this. Piss me off.
Kim is shocked to see.
Oh, she's
Justin,
so shocked. I'm so fucking sure.
And she's shocked to realize he went through with the murder. But she helps him clean up.
I'm sure she does.
They proceed to drive to a gas station to purchase a can of gasoline. They drive both Jeeps, so, you know, I assume Justin's probably driving Regina's and Kim is driving her Jeep. They drive the Jeeps out to Bastrop County. Justin pours gas all over the Jeep and body in the back, torches it, and they dip out. From here, Justin and Kim go on the run to a motel. They bought hair dye and other miscellaneous items like scissors and bandages to do haircuts and also dress Justin's wound on his hand.
Dude, I think that they went to a hotel in San Antonio, a motel in San Antonio. No?
I don't think though.
Is that not where they...
So.
Damn.
It wasn't
case
said,
am
but
I
I'm pretty sure it
thinking
was in
of?
the area.
Did they get caught in a motel?
No.
Damn, wrong case.
So they got, yeah, no.
Either way, it's...
They eventually got caught at Justin Thomas's house, but while they were on the run for a few days, they spent their time at a motel.
It's so fucked that... I don't know, I just can't. It's my heightened empathy that I guess I just really can't imagine doing that to someone that is... Well, no. I don't know, because I have probably done that. Not to that extent. I haven't killed anyone, but I've done some fucked up shit. I'm just going to shut up. It's fine.
No. We haven't done anything, okay? Anyways.
I haven't killed anyone, but goddamn, that is fucked. Like, she paid for your apartment. She paid, like... All you had to do was just say, hey, I don't like you as a girlfriend. Like 6 months into the
Well, she did that. I mean, she said, I'm not a lesbian, I can't do this, but she was selfish enough to keep Regina around for her financial gain. So that is her own shitty ass fault. Like, and also, not to blame Regina, but she kept going with it because she wanted to keep Kim close and wanted her back and was obsessed with her.
Regina just thought that if she could give Kim money, then it didn't matter how much of a dick that Justin had. Like, she could be in her life.
Guess what they love drinking? Like, remember when I said on New Year's Eve they were showered with champagne and stuff, but there's usually one specific champagne.
What?
That they drink. Dom Perignon.
Oh, fucking course. Whatever. I'll stick to the...
Corbel. Cooks.
Yeah. Cooks. Corbel.
And sometimes Andres.
When we really like it, Andres. When we like it dirty. Mm-hmm.
So like I said, they bought all that stuff to... like hair dye and stuff. So they dye Justin's hair. They cut it into a hideous mohawk. This is their attempt to lay low because they were worried someone may have seen them dumping Regina's car and stuff. So when police go back to kind of like verify this kind of stuff, they interview a housekeeper at the motel, and she remembered that those like hotel guests specifically because how messy the room was.
Yeah.
Like, she remembered just like the hair dye mess in the bathroom with the towels all dirty. She remembered bloody bandages and wrappings from his hand stuff. And she remembered Justin specifically. She remembered seeing him and remembered him because of just how creepy he seemed and looked.
Well, especially with that fucking haircut, dude. If anyone were to walk around with that, like, that's not a sane haircut. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what the most stupid thing is, though? So, remember, this is, while they're in the motel laying low, this is right after they dump Regina's car. So, this is throughout the weekend where... simultaneously, Jeremy Barnes is going into Regina's apartment and her friends are starting to get worried. So during this time, they're trying to lay low, but they're leaving a complete money trail because they're withdrawing money from Regina's account.
Yeah.
They were taking around $300 a day from the account for drugs, mostly for drugs.
Damn.
They lay low for a couple of days until police make contact. And that's when it's kind of unclear how they went from the motel to the Justin Thomas family home. But remember, Kim asked for a lawyer, but started talking.
Immediately.
And the police didn't stop her.
No. Why would they?
The judge at the trial decides that her confession couldn't be used at trial because she asked for a lawyer and didn't get one.
What the fuck? Mm.
So,
okay.
Kim received immunity by siding with the state and using her confession to testify against Justin. So a year after like the arrest or whatever happened, Kim had kind of cleaned up her act, and she went to trial a year later and was looking healthy, and she was considered the fucking
No.
trustworthy
No.
witness.
How can you say that someone that is willing to put a body in a fucking car, light it on fire, and you just fucking let that person back into society? How is that okay? No, they didn't do anything. It's fine. That's what's so fucking upsetting. Could they have gotten, like, Justin alone without her testimony, or was this, like, a for sure thing? But even then, it's like, I don't think, like, this would have not happened if it weren't for her, obviously.
Yeah. I definitely think she knew what she was doing. She kind of, I think, was trying to act like she was in between.
Yeah, that Justin
Like
wasn't going to go over to kill. I mean,
like she didn't necessarily want Regina dead, but she doesn't want Justin in jail either, so she would still go to those lengths to protect him anyways after the fact. So
I guess, I don't know.
I don't know. I think she shouldn't have gotten immunity because, like, at least get her on some fucking charges of something else. I don't know, because she was part of the downfall for sure.
I mean, like, I guess maybe part of me can maybe understand where she didn't know Justin going and, like, murdering would be an option, but to some degree she had to have known that that was going to happen. I mean, like, but I guess maybe, like, yeah, people brush that shit off all the time. But at the same time, no. You defiled her corpse. Like, you're not allowed to get away with that.
Well,
that's fine.
So, this happened in, like, 1995. So, a year later at the trial, August 21st, 1996, Justin Thomas was found guilty of first-degree murder of Regina Hartwell. But during the sentencing phase, there was a connection made between Justin and a murder that happened in California in 1992.
What?
Remember, I said he moved to Texas in 1992.
Fuck, dude. What?
So,
what did he do?
I'm not going to go into too much detail about that murder, but basically, he murdered someone else, this dude, because he was paranoid that he was going to turn him in or something. Like, something very similar. Yeah.
For dealing drugs?
For dealing drugs, yes. Because...
Don't threaten that to your drug dealers that are doing the drugs that they're dealing. Also, maybe don't go to meth dealers and do meth.
Right. Well, another similarity between the cases were the arson. He had also set things on fire in the 1992 murder. So, he was charged for first-degree murder for that as well. So, he is on death row in California.
Probably still to this day, knowing death laws.
So as far as I know, in 2019, he still was, I think.
Yeah. It takes him a while to...
Yeah. So all charges were dropped against Kim, and she never paid any price for her role. Or what we would consider a price, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, she definitely had a role, so...
Which I...
Please don't tell me she wrote a book or anything.
No, I just don't understand. Like, no, actually, since then, she's changed her name and her whereabouts are unknown. Regina was buried in Webster, Texas, and is remembered as being heartwarming, giving, living life in the moment and to the fullest. She wanted to settle down with a partner and have a family, and she loved her friends and her pets. And that was the murder of Regina Hartwell. and the murder, the love triangle that ended in
Murder.
flames.
Shit, dude.
Did that make sense?
No, we have to record this whole episode over again. Fuck, you just can't murder people. End of the day. Don't do drugs. Don't get into relationships that you're not ready to get into.
Don't do drugs. Don't be in a love triangle.
Be honest to yourself and be honest to the others around you. Like,
To the others.
oh, that's breaks my heart, man. Kim, I hope you take accountability for the things that you've done. Hopefully, now that you've had to change your name, maybe it's because you've understood that to some degree. Definitely don't want to blow you up. Definitely don't go after her. That's not what this is about. But, wow, yeah, that,
But if you find her, let me know.
yeah. Until next time. That's it. That's all, folks.
Cheers to not being rich so people won't abuse me.
Cheers to not doing meth. Have a good night, folks. Bye-bye.